fellow Well Dwellers. Welcome back to Season 2 of the Well Dwellers podcast. If you don't know who I am, my name is Eric Freiberger. I'm the creator and host here, and I'm so glad you've returned or that you've joined us here today to hear this opener, an introduction for what I'm hoping to be a awesome Season 2 conversation together. In Season 1, we opened the space to wonder about our disabled life, its meanings, identity, what good news might look like, faith, and healthy community. This season, it is my hope we can lean closer into the voices of us disabled people and into everyday life, our stories, our wisdom, our struggles, and our hope. Because as theologian Nancy Easland once wrote, disability is not a punishment from God, but a vivid reminder of the fragility and beauty of human life. That's where we begin, by listening to life as it is, not as we imagine it should be. This season, we'll also ask questions that really matter, things that have really been percolating and provoking in my own thoughts and personal life over the past few months. Questions like, what does it mean to be called God's elect in 1 Peter 1 and be a disabled people? How can creativity and the arts create divine encounters and space for us to hear and experience the voice of God? What are the positive and negative impacts of AI in the disabled world? A definite loaded question, which I have encountered many times over the last few months. What is disabled theology, and how does it relate to the other explorations of understanding faith, religion, and God? How does intersectionality between marginalized groups matter in a social justice movement against ableism? And we'll probably dive into a few other questions that come along. We'll hear from voices across the spectrum, missional thinkers, disability advocates, artists, theologians, and from some of my other friends and connections that I've made over the last many years. Alan Hirsch once reminded us that the church is always at its most faithful when it exists at the margins, as we, the disabled overlooked, journey through that existence in a multitude of diverse ways. We are able to embody that faithfulness and carry a story of great endurance, needing to be heard by all. We'll listen to Keith Dow's reflections on creativity and divine encounter, and Michael Morelli will return with insights on the tricky, polarizing entanglement of AI and disability. I hope to spend some time with Zachary Weeks, a local Albertan disability advocate, as he presses us toward a disability justice here in Albertan society. And Fern Bazowski, as she gently reminds us of hope's endurance. And I hope we'll get to engage with Richard Beck, who I met a number of years ago, and his deep challenge in his book, The Slavery of Death, where he says the slavery of death is not simply about mortality. It's about how fear dehumanizes us. And his thoughts around how our joy has a geometry, a shape. We must learn to look outside ourselves to find it. It is also my hope to connect with my old professor and friend, Dr. Mark Love. And here's some of the amazing things he's doing these days while talking about pneumatology, something he's passionate about, the theology of the Holy Spirit, and missional theology, and how they might meet with disabled theology in a strange entanglement of trying to understand God and our Creator. In all of this, we're reaching for what Angela Ritzma-Bick calls the undone, the courage to embrace unraveling, to see that in our undoing, there might also be the seeds of new wholeness. And along the way, I'll share short well-dweller moments, breaths of reflection, invitation to pause, and glimpse of how dignity and hope show up in unexpected places. My fellow well-dwellers, Season 2 is about stories. It is also about us. It's about being human together, fragile, resilient, undone, and remade. As Howard Thurman once put it, Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. So before I'm signing off here today on this season 2 opener, I want to ask you, my listeners, my fellow well dwellers and community, what makes you, as people at the bottom of the well, come alive? I want to invite you to join me here in the Well Dwellers podcast and be a guest on the show where you can share your personal story and journey. There's no need to be right or wrong, to have any kind of expertise or religious or spiritual affiliation or feelings of exceptionalism. Just if you are willing to share some of your journey and how you might answer these 3 simple questions. How do you find meaning in the language of disability? Where does dignity take root in your life? And what is it that brings you hope, not only for tomorrow, but for today? So if you're willing to join us here on the show, email me at ericfreiberger@substack.com. I hope we are able to meet you and get to know more in the near future about your story and your life. Simi Linton said it best, that by telling our stories, we claim space in a world that would rather we stay silent. Each story is a thread, and together they weave a tapestry of resistance. Together, in a world that would rather keep us invisible, let's stand out, be seen, and let's be heard. Nothing about us without us. So come with me, draw deeply, listen well, and maybe, just maybe, we'll find life together here at the bottom of the well. Until we meet in the next episode, thanks for listening.